AMD stocks were up more than 6% on Thursday afternoon and closed at a new record high. The stock was the first time in history that broke the $100 mark. Investors are excited about AMD's record performance and betting huge on the stock. How far could AMD stock move, and should you invest in AMD if you have missed buying it when it was below $90? In this video, we will explain how and why AMD stock could continue to set a new record high and reach $200. If you would like to know more, please continue to watch the video. Before that, please click the like button below and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate your support. AMD has staged an amazing turnaround over the past 6 years, fueled by new products and improved profitability. AMD stock rose from $39 to $91 from its March 2020 bottom. The performance is much more than the S&P, which increased by around 95% from its low. AMD stock is up almost 1.7 times compared to its level before the pandemic. It broke the $100 price level on Thursday. Looking at the momentum, we believe that AMD stock could further rise about 10% in the near term. In the second quarter of 2021, AMD reported revenue and operating margin doubled, its profitability more than tripled year over year. The better-than-expected margin and profitability improvement is a good milestone on AMD's business performance. AMD stocks were trading above $100 following the Xilinx strong earnings report after Wednesday's closing bell. Let's look at the 6 reasons that why we are bullish on AMD's stock price could move above $200 price point in 2 to 3 years' time. The rise of coronavirus in early 2020 affected semiconductor demand and manufacturing activities. However, as more people stay at home, work remotely, and are not able to do outdoor activities, the demand for chips powering laptops, gaming devices, and internet infrastructure skyrocketed. As AMD's central processing units, CPUs, and graphics processing units, GPUs, are for computers, gaming, and data centers, AMD benefited strongly during the pandemic. As COVID infections caused by Delta variant virus surge upend plans for companies trickling back to the office, hence the demand continues to be strong. When people are working from home, schooling from home, and companies are implementing hybrid working arrangements, people want better devices, and particularly in the data center, hence the PC industry is seeing the demand for computing is exploding everywhere. AMD Ryzen processors are having steady demand in the second quarter due to the extension of the work-from-home and online learning setup. The chips that act as the brains for every personal PC and public cloud data center will benefit AMD the most, as AMD has gradually been taking market share away from its larger rival Intel. AMD is confident that the company will continue to grow even if the PC demand falls in 2022, as AMD has drastically improved its chipset performance and successfully moved the company position from a low-cost chipset product to a high-performance product market. AMD's rival Intel announced the delay of its next-generation 7nm chipsets. AMD has seen a further rise in demand for its products. AMD's Milan server chips have taken a significant amount of market share from its rival Intel. AMD reportedly held 22.4% of the x86 CPU market at the end of the third quarter of 2020. AMD's market share further increased to 29.48% in the second quarter of 2021. AMD's revenue from the semi-custom business more than doubled in the third quarter of 2020, rising 116% year-over-year to $1.13 billion. This was the result of higher sales of semi-custom chips and a jump in server processor sales. The momentum continues in 2021, and it will benefit AMD's full-year performance. In quarter 1 of 2021 earnings, AMD's revenue jumped nearly 2 times from $1.79 billion in Q1 20 to $3.45 billion in Q1 21. Its operating expenses rose at a rate lower than the growth in revenue, and its operating margins more than quadrupled from 9.9% to 41.7%. In Quarter 2 of 2021, sales in AMD's computing and graphics segment, which includes graphic chip sales to data centers, rose 65% to $2.25 billion, beating analysts' estimate of $2.17 billion, according to market research firm FactSet. Its enterprise, embedded and semi-custom segment, the unit that houses data center chips, jumped nearly threefold in sales to $1.6 billion. These numbers facts have shown AMD is steadily taking the market share from Intel, due to Intel's continuously delaying in its new generation chipset launch. The Sony PlayStation 5 console redesign is expected to launch in 2022. One of Sony's PS5 suppliers is TSMC, which will be responsible for producing the 6nm semi-custom AMD chip that the new PS5 model will feature. The November 2020 version of Sony's PlayStation 5 features a custom 8-core AMD Zen 2 CPU and a custom GPU based on AMD's RDNA 2 architecture hardware. Sony's PlayStation 5, which first launched in November 2020, was a great success. Sony revealed that it has already sold 7.8 million units of PS5 so far this year and is aiming to sell 14.8 million in the ongoing fiscal year. AMD's Fidelity FX technology has been added to the Xbox Series X and Series S game development kit. It allows developers to implement graphical features on Xbox Series X and Series S consoles that were previously limited to PC. Xbox Series X and Series S consoles are powered by AMD's RDNA 2 CPUs and Zen 2 GPUs, hence the Fidelity FX is a logical fit for Microsoft's flagship consoles. In Microsoft's fiscal fourth quarter earnings report, Xbox reported continued growth in hardware sales. Its Xbox hardware sales spiked 172% as Microsoft reports $3.7 billion in quarterly gaming revenue. Both PS5 and Xbox Series X are the most popular gaming hardware in the world, and AMD is supplying chipsets to them. In June 2021, AMD announced that its processors and graphics chips are to be used in the infotainment systems of newly updated Tesla Model S and Model X electric cars. This is mainly to power the gaming rig inside Tesla's cars. The Tesla contract adds to AMD's business growth momentum as Tesla's previous Model S and X were using Intel's chips. Although AMD's business in the automotive industry is still small, however, this deal is important for AMD to go into this high-growth industry. Revenue of servers running AMD processors shot up 183% year-over-year in the second quarter of 2021, driven by higher semi-custom product revenue and ePYC processor sales. AMD's data center-related revenues doubled in the second quarter, and it accounted for more than 20% of AMD's total revenue in the second quarter. The growing demand for AMD's data center chips from both cloud and high-performance computing, HPC, is stronger than ever. AMD is ramping up production of its next-generation AMD Instinct accelerators and open-source ROCm software to support multiple leading-edge supercomputers. During the Quarter 2 earnings report, AMD revealed its latest cloud contracts with Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Tencent, Alibaba and Google Cloud. AMD expects its data center revenue will continue to grow faster than overall revenue. AMD estimates that the server processor market could be worth $19 billion by 2023. AMD is on track to reach $1.5 billion in data center revenue this year, hence AMD will still have a lot of room to grow in this space. Before Lisa Su became AMD's CEO, AMD business had hit a significant rough patch and made a loss of over $1 billion. AMD had cut 15% of its worldwide workforce in the face of declining revenues. Lisa Su joined AMD in January 2012 as Senior Vice President and General Manager of Global Business Units. Lisa Su holds Bachelor of Engineering, Master of Science in Engineering, and PhD in Electrical Engineering from MIT. Lisa Su took over the CEO position from Rory Read in October 2014. In 2014, AMD stock traded around $4 a share and under $2 a share in 2015. Today, AMD has a share price of over $100. Its share price has risen almost 5,000% in just 5 years, and it has become one of the most successful CPU corporations in the world, taking large market share from titans like Intel. Under Lisa Su's leadership, AMD's total revenue grew from $4 billion in 2015 to $6.5 billion in 2018. This growth was largely driven by higher demand for its Ryzen and Radeon product lines. AMD has been gaining its market share from Intel. In 2018, AMD's market share in processors was only 18%, and today its processor market share increased to over 29%. Lisa Su's next 5 years' focus for AMD business will be a commitment to high-performance computing, data centers, consumer graphics, and gaming consoles. AMD will also penetrate into the 5G services market, which demands processors to handle extensive data processing. Hence, under Lisa Su's tutelage, AMD is ready to take on the tough competition with its strong rivals Intel on the CPUs market and Nvidia on the GPUs market. In October last year, AMD announced the acquisition of programmable chip maker Xilinx for $35 billion. The deal is transformational for AMD, giving the company access to new markets and technology vital to its lucrative data center business. This could increase AMD's competitive edge to compete with its rival Intel in the area of chips designed for data centers and cloud computing applications. AMD is expecting that this deal could further benefit AMD's margins, per share earnings, and its free cash flow generation. The acquisition of Xilinx would add several new chips to AMD's portfolio, including field programmable gate arrays, FPGA, which can be reprogrammed after they are manufactured. In July 2021, AMD secured unconditional EU antitrust approval and UK government approval for the deal. Currently still pending approval from China, and the transaction is expected to close by the end of 2021. In addition to Xilinx technologies and strong earnings, the acquisition will create long-term value for AMD stock. Based on these 6 reasons, we believe AMD stock will break the next $100 level and reach $200 mark in 2 to 3 years' time. AMD is a high-growth company. Give it more times, it could be the next Nvidia. Hope you enjoy the video. This is not financial advice. The content of the video is for reference and entertainment purposes. Please do your due diligence before making any investment. I am Max from Market Pulse Studio. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have a nice day.